All game masters have been there before. You have no ideas for your next game session. No new quests, no new missions, no new adventures. For those of you out there who need it, let's grant you some inspiration. Welcome to Granting Inspiration. Today, I'm going to show you what kind of adventure you can make with a Magic the Gathering booster pack and an hour's worth of brainstorming. Let's get right to it, shall we? Our party is sailing across the high seas, on their way to their next adventure, when the navigator of the fair ship Horizon makes a tragic blunder. Perhaps she read the stars wrong, or even lost an important navigating tool. Nevertheless, she makes a mistake, which causes the ship to sail wide off course into some dangerous waters. Waters close to the Black Island. The island comes into view and continues to get closer, no matter how hard the crew attempts to steer away from it. The current itself seems to be pulling the ship closer and closer until it crashes into the wreckage-filled beach. As the party and crew pull themselves from the wrecked Horizon, they're almost immediately besieged by bloated zombies and skeletons. They rise from the shoreline out of the water, clad in various forms of sailor's garb. Many of the crew perish in the attack, but there are survivors. Picking themselves up, the surviving crew and party head off to a column of smoke they see in the distance, coming from deeper in the jungle. The source of the smoke is a village being pillaged by a group of pirates wearing red and black toned armor. Armor marking them as members of the cutthroat and dangerous Dire Fleet pirates. The village inhabitants are blue humanoid creatures, dressed in robes made of feathers. Those who are not dead or dying on the ground are running in fear, all except for two, who are fighting the attackers. They're covered in greenish jade jewelry, and seem to be channeling magic through them. The group of pirates they are fighting are being led by a man wearing a reddish-orange bandana. He's a pyromancer to keep the village warriors off balance as his men surround them. The party intervenes and manages to get the upper hand and stop the senseless slaughter of the villagers. Speaking with the survivors, they tell the party the pirates attack them in an attempt to find an ancient artifact known as the Tide Totem, an artifact which is said to have the ability to control the tides and currents of any body of water. The villagers were charged with keeping the totem safe a long time ago, and they did so by training warriors to protect it. These Jade Guardians, as they're known, use old tribal practices and methods to enhance their magic by channeling it through their Jade totems and trinkets. However, unfortunately, most of them were killed in the attack. Seeing the totem as a possible way to get off the island, and maybe even help these people, the party sets off to stop the pirates from retrieving the artifact for themselves. As they travel through the jungle following the quite obvious path the pirates had left them, the party are set upon by feathered raptors. These raptors tear into the party, ripping away bits of their armor and flesh during their fight. They dispatch the creatures eventually, however, during the fight, large centipede-like creatures consume the bits of armor that were torn off, essentially making them much more weakened with damaged gear. As they continue deeper into the island, the lush jungle begins to give way to a decaying and desolate swampy landscape. Rusty armor and rotten wagons protrude from the muddy waters, and the air begins to feel heavier. Eventually, the party arrives at a raised stone platform surrounded by Dire Fleet pirates, and upon the platform, the Tide Totem is seen sticking out of it. A wooden staff with a pulsating jade crystal on top of it. And standing next to the totem is an imposing half-orc figure. Clad in blood red and inky black armor, wielding a great axe decorated with a skull, stands Captain Korg, leader of the Dire Fleet pirates. A battle ensues, and the party is hampered by Captain Korg using the Tide Totem against them to move the swampy waters beneath their feet. In the middle of the fight, however, a large red dinosaur with jade jewelry charges in to assist the group. Riding on the dinosaur is an elf wearing tarnished bronze gold armor, wielding a curved blade. With his help, the party managed to dispatch the pirates. The party asks to borrow the totem so they can leave the island. However, the elf, who goes by Roger, says he can't allow that to happen. He explains that a long time ago, he had been a part of the Knights of Pelor. He and his fellow soldiers were sent to the island to deal with a dangerous vampiric necromancer who's creating an undead curse, one that could spread like a virus by other undead. Roger and his comrades were able to get close enough to kill the vampire, but not before the necromancer bit Roger, turning him into a vampire, and unleashed the curse on the island. With the undead already marching out into the ocean to spread the curse, Roger pleaded with the natives on the island to help him, as he had no way to stop them by himself. So the natives created the tide totem, using their ancient magics to keep the undead from simply walking away from the island under the water, and to prevent any visitors from potentially leaving with the curse. However, if the party hasn't been infected by the curse, Roger is actually willing to offer them a way to escape. From a time when he thought about leaving the island, he cobbled together a glider onto a small ship to escape the currents. Launching it off of one of the cliff peaks on the island, the party and surviving crew glide past the tide totem's influence and sail away, on their way to their next adventure. I hope you all enjoyed this. What I imagined this when creating it on stream was a small one-shot adventure just to have fun with dinosaurs and pirates and undead. Really, this set has come together. This booster pack has come together and offered a lot of different scenarios, but everything that's very on theme. I've done this before with some of my other groups, and sometimes it's a little bit difficult, so I'm glad we got a good one to start all this off. If you'd like to comment with different ideas or takes on how you would do this, please leave it in the comment section below. I really hope to do this again, and I hope you enjoyed it. See you guys next time.